Hello everybody, Adelaja here again. I'm going to keep on talking to you about organized righteousness. By now, if you've been following my teachings, you should be aware and you should be more familiar with the term organized righteousness. That's my own little solution. That's my own little answer for the crisis of the world and how to make the world a better place. One day I'm no longer going to be here, but I want my concept to remain. I want my ideology to remain. And that's why I started doing this series so that people just don't think Adelaja is just a pastor or Adelaja is just an evangelist. But more than that, I know that, I'm a philosopher. And I know that as a philosopher, I must be an ideologist. So I'm selling my ideologies and my philosophies to the world, both in my time and after I'm done. People must have something better to work on. Right now, the philosophies and the ideologies that we have in our universities and schools are mainly the ideologies and philosophies coming from good people, but maybe not really Christian people. Or Christians, but not really biblical. So I think it is a good thing that Christians who know Christ, who have a personal relationship with God, and who are biblical, begin to come out with biblical concepts that are, sellable to the public as pure philosophical in content, but also biblical in ideology. So these ideologies, these ideas or ideologies that I'm bringing, and these, concepts or philosophies that I'm bringing, believe you me, they are grounded in the knowledge of God and in the principles of the scriptures. But they are molded in such a way that they could be used to build the society. Because for a long time, many Christians have thought that Bible is only good enough for the church or for the clergy or for religious lifestyle. But really, the Bible has got everything to build a better world and a better society. So the concept that I'm talking about in general for the past 1 month has been the concept of or the ideology of organized righteousness. But today, I'm going to look at it from this point of view. You could have everything as a nation and as an individual as well, but let's talk in the context of a nation. So a nation could be blessed with everything. A nation could be blessed with raw materials, mineral resources. And there are a lot of nations like this in Africa, where I come from, that are so blessed that one of the most blessed and most the richest nations in the world will be Congo, DRC, Zaire, Kinshasa. That is a very wealthy nation, one of the richest in the whole world. But the people live a poor life. And it's actually today one of the poorest nations on earth. Why do these things happen? And my country as well, Nigeria, is one of the richest countries in the whole world in terms of potential resources, population, and even natural resources and raw materials. But in the real sense, this country is still one of the richest, one of the poorest countries in the world. Our people are one of the poorest in the world. So how do we change this, and why does this happen? Well, it's part of organized righteousness. But this time I'm going to talk about organized righteousness in terms of the economy. Organized righteousness in terms of the economy. It doesn't matter how much you have. It doesn't matter how much you've been blessed with by God. It doesn't matter how much you've been endowed by heavens. There's something that is even more important than your blessedness or your blessings. There is something that is even more significant than the amount of raw materials that you have in the soil of your nation. There is something that is much more important than the amount of gold and silver and diamonds that you will get and extract from your country. There is something that is much more significant than the reserves of oil and gas that your nation possesses. There is something that is even more important than the amount of people that you have in your nation, how many millions of people and manpower that you possess. What could this then be? It is in the ability to be organized. Organizational skills, ability to manage and organize, to structure, is a greater wealth than all the diamonds, gold, oil, reserves that you have in your nation. Just the ability to organize. That skill alone, the skill to be organized. If you possess organized righteousness economically, if you bring the principle of organized righteousness into the economy, you will get wealth where there are no raw materials or natural resources. That's what happens in a country like Singapore. They don't have natural resources. They don't have raw materials. But the skill, organizational skills, the ability to organize, organized righteousness has made Singapore to be so wealthy that per capita is wealthier than the United States of America as of today. Organized righteousness, the ability to be organized. When you bring that into nation running and into economic management, you will discover that you don't really need raw materials as such. There is a greater value than that. Organized righteousness, this ability to be organized, the structural abilities, managemental ability, organizational skills, the ability to be organized is much more valuable, is much more better than just the possession of natural wealth without a corresponding skill of organization. Let me show you where I got this from the scriptures. I'm a student of the Bible, so if you look into the book of Proverbs, Proverbs chapter 13, one of my favorite scriptures. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 23. In Proverbs chapter 13, verse 33, it tells a story of a man. But the writer of that scripture, which I believe is Solomon, is referring to this man, the hero of this story, as a poor man. Because it says, much food, there is much food in the ground or in the field of the poor. But then it says, because why I'm surprised is, he said, how could you say there is much food in the field? Then you said the man is poor. Wait a minute. Let me shine my eyes. Much food in the field, in the farm of a man, and now you are saying that the man is poor. How? Tell me the logic. These are the reasons why unbelievers say we have so many contradictions in the Bible. And that the Bible is full of contradictions. How could you say there is much food, much resources in the field, in the ground of a man, and then you describe the man as poor? Wait a minute. Poor for having much? Poor for having too much? poor, our description of poverty and of being poor is that you don't have anything. But what that scripture is trying to say is, doesn't matter how much you have. Doesn't matter how much you have. If you are poor in organizational and managerial skills, you are still poor. You are a poor man. Because the second part of that scripture says, even though this man has much food in his ground, but the second part will say, but they perish for lack of order. Or they perish for lack of justice. Justice is order, order. So since they perish, since the much food, so it doesn't matter how much resources you have, it doesn't matter how much natural resources, how much raw materials you have. If you don't have the managerial organizational skills, if you don't have the organized righteousness in your mind, if you don't have an organized system of thought, you cannot bring that organized system of thought into the field, into the economy. And because you don't have an organized system of thought in your mind, in your personality, there will be no organized system in your field. And because you don't have a system to organize and to manage the resources that you have in the field, you discover that they just perish, they just keep on perishing. And hence, you become a poor eventually. That's like my country. I remember when I took some few Europeans back to Nigeria with me. They were all telling me all kind of stories that, oh, we want to eat fruits. Oh, we know, we've read in books and that Africa is full of fruits and orange and vegetable and mango and all kind of fruits. Oh, we can't wait to go to Africa. We can't wait to go to Africa. Banana and all kind of things. When they got there, it was the greatest disillusionments and disappointments of their lives. Why? Because when they ask for one fruit, my African people will tell them that it's not the season. Ask for another fruit. Where it will, oh, wait, in the next 2 months it's coming out. Ask for the other fruit. Oh, we just finished. The season just finished. They said, what are they talking about? What season? Does it grow here? Yeah, it grows, yes. So what happened to it? Oh, it's finished. Why? Oh, the season has not come now. You have to wait. Why? But it was just there the other time. Oh yes, it's finished. It's finished. Another one is the one. We don't want this one now. We want the one we were asking for. No, you have to wait for the time. You have to come in this part of the year. Then we say, okay, how can we get this one? Oh, we'll buy from. They will bring it from Turkey. We will import it from London. Why? Are you not in Africa? Yes, but the season is not here. Even the banana that they had all the time for all the season, you cannot eat it. Much food in the fallow of the poor. So I say, well, poor? Yeah, poor. Much food, yet poor. If you lack organized system of thought, if you lack organized system of thought, organized system in your management, organized system in your economy, organized system in your nation. When you lack organized system in your resource management, it doesn't matter how much resources you have, you are a poor man. So to help Africa and to help the world, this ideology of organized righteousness, an organized system of thought is absolutely essential for us to build a better world for our children, for our grandchildren, for the world, for posterity, and to run the world better. Let's stop depending on resources, raw materials, and natural resources. Let's stop depending on how much we have thank you so much for watching our videos. Now, we need to spread this word and we need to do it together. For that to happen, we need your help. Just 5 little steps that you could help us to spread the word. Number one thing we need you to do is to like the videos. Please go like this video right now. Number 2, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Number 3, we need you to press and click on that notification bell. You see the bell? Go press on it. And number 4, we need you to go comment. Write your comment, good or bad. Just write what you feel. Number 5, share on every platform. Share on Instagram, share on Facebook. Just share and spread the word. Thank you so much.